Hello everyone, nice to meet you online. In today's forum, we will discuss Tai Ji Men case. On July 13, 2007, Taiwan's Supreme Court found Tai Ji Men innocent of tax evasion and all other charges, but National Taxation Bureau ignored the court decision and continued to issue illegal tax bills. This year is the 14th anniversary of the acquittal of Tai Ji Men, but it's pity that Tai Ji Men's property was illegally auctioned by Administrative Enforcement Agency in late August 2020. Dr. Hong and Tai Ji Men have been persecuted by a few rogue bureaucrats for 25 years, but they never gave up to fight for justice. In the contrary, they have been devoted to promoting human rights and religious freedom in the past few years. In the beginning of today's forum, we will share with you a video clip. Mr. Huang Kunguang, the former senior auditor of the National Taxation Bureau of Kaohsiung, will share his point of view of Tai Ji Men illegal tax bills.
Regarding the Tai Ji Men case, it was taxed from 1991 to 1996. It was strange. How could this happen? So, you see, a search was conducted on December 19, 1996. He said that there was tax evasion. The income tax in 1996 cannot be audited until April 1997. They had not yet filed their taxes. How could you investigate tax evasion? How do you know how they will file their tax return? Therefore, the tax years involved in the case clearly showed that this violated the tax law. Those who study the law know that you cannot prosecute or convict a person without getting the cash flow data. During the search on December 19, 1996, two bank statements show the balance of $22,000. However, the next day, a newspaper published that the master of Tai Ji Men had $110 million income from fraudulent acts and cram school tuition. You can't make such an inference even when you are writing a novel. How did they come up with this number? $22,000 times 5,000 is exactly $110 million. Probably that was how they got the number. The so-called evidence obtained after the search can be proved to be false, because you already said the amount. The transcripts and testimony. When were they done? Definitely after December 20th. Could I know how much tax you have evaded the minute I am assigned to the case when auditing taxes? It's more than illegal taxation. It's the so-called framing. $22,000 was blown up to be $110 million. Then this is all imagined. If they can impose taxes on people without evidence, then do we still need tax agencies? You can collect whatever amount of tax you want if you find more prosecutors like him. It's that simple. It's very clear in the Tai Ji Men tax case that the tax officers and Taxation Bureau imposed illegal taxes. Whether the tax laws applied or the tax demand are not justified. Imposing taxes based on imaginary data is absolutely against the principle that taxes should be imposed according to the law. No other nations that implement income taxes have this kind of practice.
Thanks the voice of justice of Mr. Huang Kunguang. Through this video, we learned that the amount of illegal tax bills was fabricated. Tax collector never conduct actual investigation of any academy of Tai Ji Men. The illegal tax bills should be revoked according to law. Today, we invite three speakers to share their stories and advice on Tai Ji Men case. Our first speaker is Kiki. Let's welcome Kiki.
Hello everybody, today I would like to share my story with you. When I was a kid, my parents told me and my sister to Tai Ji Men to practice Qigong. We are really happy in Tai Ji Men until one day, a native persecutor used fake evidence to pursue our Shifu. I was 10 years old that time. A 10-year-old girl watched Tai Ji Men case on the television. The news anchor reported the information that I have never heard before. I attempted to connect the dots together, but I couldn't locate any hint or clue. I recalled my mom took me to Tai Ji Men after such big things. Even though such terrible, ridiculous things occurred, Even our report slander Tai Ji Men and Emra spoken bad thing about us. We could still hold each other's hand tightly, sing songs with love and peace toward our Shifu Shimu returned. I could still feel the powerful energy from those memories even till now. The Taste and the Legal Reform League, Chai Fu-Qiang, a Tai Ji Men volunteer defense lawyer, stated that prosecutor Tou Kuan-ren research and management of the Tai Ji Men case was unlawful and forced. Among the land, Tou Kuan-ren's misuse of power was most over the line. Our Shifu was taken to the custody only based on Tou Kuan-ren say a shadow flashed across Shifu's eyes. This is both ridiculous and unbelievable. The supervisory office also identified Tou Kuan-ren's 8 severe infraction of rule and regulation in 2002. All those evidence and facts are indicating that prosecutors use judicial violence to eliminate and oppress the people. Time passed. A teeny girl grew up, began to understand what happened to us to Tai Ji Men, begin to realize how silly and amazing such things are. Even in the 21st century, democracy and the rule of law are not as fair and equitable as textbook land. Officers' unlawful and abuse behavior continued, and the people are continually being persecuted. Tai Ji Men is only one of many unfair cases, but it is also an important case in history, which contained all the illegal and injustice. This lawsuit has lasted 25 years, from 1996 to 2021. At the time, I was an elementary school student. Till today, I not only graduated from school and start working, but also be a mother and have my own child. Recall the year that I was pregnant. Despite the fact that I was going to give birth soon, on the day of 19 December, I insisted to carry my 9-month-old belly, walk on the Kaidao to protest. That was a freezing winter. Dark night sky was raining. Ground was wet. I heavily walked on the damp and freezing road. The stinking cold wind is chilly, like our mood, sad and helpless. After my daughter was born, she started to accompany with us to Kaidao to protest from she was just baby. Later, she was older. She still accompanied with us to Kaidao every year. 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. This year, she is going to 4 years old. And yes, she still accompanied with us to pursue for justice. 25 years. Tai Ji Men case struggled 25 years. When can real justice come in? It's not horrible to make a mistake. The worst thing is inability to confess, fix, and disregard fault bravely. Kenny Jobson, professor of law at Temple University in Philadelphia and former advisor to President Clinton, has studied Tai Ji Men case for many years. Professor Jacobson pointed out, there is no and was no application of the rule of law in Tai Ji Men case. Taiwan is an island of democracy, a beacon of democracy in an area that has absolute political turmoil, as well as oppression in that region. That beacon faded with Tai Ji Men case. I love Taiwan, I love the country of Taiwan, I love the people of Taiwan. But what has happened here has emerged from conduct of some rural bureaucrats and government office. That is now being tolerated by government itself, and that is shameful. In the end, I want to strong calling our governments could fix and correct Tai Ji Men case as soon as possible. Let justice really imply into Taiwan become a real democracy's country. Thank you for all attention. I believe we are on the way to the justice. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for Kiki's sharing. Taiwan is a democratic country which follows the rule of law. It is never too late to awaken our conscience and correct mistakes. We hope Taiwan government can hear people's voice and return justice to the people. Our next speaker is Celine. Let's welcome Celine.
Hello everyone, I'm a housewife with 2 children as well as a Tai Ji Men弟子. 2 years ago, due to long-term physical and mental imbalance, I suffered from severe ovarian cancer. Fortunately, being in Tai Ji Men allowed me to face this important test without getting confused. I was optimistic and believed in Shifu. Thanks to my gratitude, the whole process of treatment and recovery was smooth, and there was no trace of illness. Facing serious illness, most people complain and panic. By contrast, practicing Qi to strengthen body and mind makes me have learned how to change my mind unknowingly, introspection, and the capability of confronting problems positively and optimistically. Knowing that I'm sick, I stay calm rather than be desperate. The only thing I want to do is to live peacefully with the disease. And I think that my heart cultivation needs to be strengthened. Therefore, there is no complaint, only optimism to face the problem and actively solve it. The children also grew up in Tai Ji Men since they were born. Consequently, the teacher's evaluation of the children is often stable mind. At Tai Ji Men, the guidance of Shifu and the mutual love of the brothers and sisters nourished my mind, so that although I was deep in the bad world, I could still live in calm mood and composure. Nowadays, the counterattack of the whole world, natural and man-made disasters continue. Taiwan and even the whole world need a place with positive energy like Tai Ji Men. It is even too late to carry forward and promote the world. But in Taiwan, it is ruthlessly suppressed by wrong and false case for 25 years. The criminal case derived from the false accusation was determined in the third criminal trial on July 13, 2007 that Shifu was not guilty, no fraud, no tax evasion, no violation of the tax collection law. The Ministry of Finance also announced the investigation results on February 19, 2012. 7,401 evidences indicated 100% that the teacher's salute was a gift instead of tuition, and it's consistent with the criminal judgment. On August 3, 2012, the Taipei Internal Revenue Service and November 27, 2013, the Central District Internal Revenue Service all claimed that Tai Ji Men was not a crime school, but they still issue tax bills again and again. Even on August 21, 2021, the people's land was forcibly confiscated with an illegal tax bill made out of nothing. What happened to the Taiwanese government? It's really hard to believe, but it really happened. Not only Tai Ji Men, there are also many tax disaster cases in Taiwan that are unknown. Weak taxpayers can't fight the exploitation of officials with unscrupulous robbers. For my children's right to survive in Taiwan in the future, I'm also a volunteer in the Legal Tax Reform Alliance. I promote the importance of legal tax reform on the streets, since I firmly believe that the awakening of the people and the discovery of the conscience of officials are the key to defeating evil forces. For so many years, because of Master's teaching, even though Tai Ji Men deeds have a lot of dissatisfaction and grievances in our hearts, we only make soft appeals in a gentle way. hoping that the higher-ranking officials can hear the voice of the people. President Tai Ing-wen said that, "We can bend the table for you to hear, but Tai Ji Men deeds are peaceful, irrational under the guidance of Shifu. We don't want to solve the problem by banging the table. I just hope that things can come to light and Tai Ji Men will be confirmed to be innocent. The disciplinary punishment should be done. And most importantly, Taiwan's tax system can be more reasonable and transparent. There will be no more wrongdoings and false cases, so that people can live on this land without fear. I hope that President Tsai Ing-wen and the head of the agency can urge the NTB to revoke the illegal tax bills and return the land in Tai Ji Men. I also hope that under the leadership of the president, Taiwan can truly become a beacon of democracy and freedom to defend human rights. Thank you."
Thanks for this sharing. Tai Ji Men deeds promote Taiwan's legal and tax reform in a peaceful manner. More and more experts and scholars support Tai Ji Men case. Government officials should put people's interest in the first priority. It's shameful that Taiwan's leader allowed unfair case last for 25 years without taking actions. Today's final speaker, Seika, will share her thoughts about Tai Ji Men case in Japanese. Let's welcome Seika. 続きまして、ラストのゲストは、タイジーメン事件による自分の思いとして日本語で話をしてくれます。セイカーさん、お願いします。
皆さん、こんにちは。私はタイジメの弟子です。タイジメの師匠は、弟子に心と身体の修行を教えます。これを通して自分を変え、生命の道理を理解させ、人生の本当の価値を創造させるというわけです。タイジメに入門して、気候を学び、13年近く、毎日気候の鍛錬はもちろんですが、いつも前向きに物事が考えられ、今税制関連様々なイベントに参加しております。台湾の税務体制改革のために頑張っています。台湾の税務体制について、なぜ改革必要かと言いますと、ある検察官、法官人が職権を乱用して、1996年11月の頃、すでに高尾と新宿地方検察庁は調査終わって違法行為一切ないと発表した後に、それの調査結果をすべて無視し、法官人検察官が数百名の警察官をタイ人名の道場まで連れて、一時不再理の原則があるにもかかわらず、無理やり不当な捜査を行われました。法官人検察官の職権乱用行為による起訴処分もそうですし、この検察官がやることはもはや人権侵害だし、憲法の違反もあります。それを法律に従って取り消すべきです。2007年7月13日に第三審裁判所の判決では、無罪、無税確定、税法の違反なしという判決になりました。無実だったタイジメン師匠と弟子の2名に対して冤罪の賠償金も国からいただいたし、タイジメン事件が冤罪事件であることを判明されています。元米国大統領ビル・クリントン顧問ケネス・ジェイコブソンさんがまた、タイジメンでの20年間の苦しみは人権の侵害であると述べました。第三審の裁判所の判決では、タイジメンは無罪であることが判明し、税務機関はその判決を無視し、引き継ぎタイジメンに対して税金払えと追い詰めて、完全に法律に違反になりました。 遅れた正義は正義ではなく、今まで20年遅れた場合、正義はもはや正義ではありませんとジェイコブソンさんが言ってました。新型コロナウイルスが世界中で猛威を振るう中、台湾の貿易対策の成功は世界中から注目を集めています。感染拡大を防ぐことができて、台湾政府には本当に感謝しています。しかし政府として自分の過ちについて説明し、国民に謝罪し、自分が引き起こした問題の是正に取り組むべきだとは思います。一日も早く解決できるようにお願っています。皆さんありがとうございました。
聖火さん、ありがとうございました。遅れた正義はもはや正義ではありませんということは同感してます。台湾を良くするために国民の幸福度を向上させると考えながら、今すぐ変えていきましょう。Thanks for steadfast sharing. Justice delay is justice denied. We call on President Tsai to implement rule of law, punish the illegal officials, and return sacred land to Tai Ji Men. For a better Taiwan, for the happiness of the people, it's time to make a change. Before the end of the forum, we will share with you a musical video. What is the truth about Tai Ji Men case? Thanks for your watching. See you next time.
二官下台！二官下台！
The truth about the Tai Ji Men case. Taiwan Supreme Court found Tai Ji Men not guilty of tax evasion or any other charges. The National Tax Bureau and the Ministry of Finance reneged on the promise to revoke the tax bill. The National Tax Bureau illegally auctioned off the sacred land of Tai Ji Men. The land was illegally taken into state ownership. Where is the rogue government officials' conscience? Where are justice and human rights? What is the truth about the Tai Ji Men case? Taiwan Supreme Court found Tai Ji Men guilty of tax evasion or any other charges. The National Tax Bureau and the Ministry of Finance reneged on their promise to revoke the tax bill. The National Tax Bureau illegally auctioned off the sacred land of Tai Ji Men. The land was illegally taken into state ownership. Where is the rogue government officials' conscience? Where are justice and human rights? What is the truth about the Tai Ji Men case? Taiwan Supreme Court found Tai Ji Men guilty of tax evasion or any other charges. The National Tax Bureau and the Ministry of Finance reneged on their promise to revoke the tax bill. The National Tax Bureau illegally auctioned off the sacred land of Tai Ji Men. The land was illegally taken into state ownership. Where is the rogue government officials' conscience? Where are justice and human rights? The righteous people are united with conscience.